ሰላም ጤና ይስጥልኝ እንደምን አላችሁ ውድ የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች። ለዛሬው የኢትዮጵያን የጥንታዊ ታሪክ አቀርብላችኋለሁ። ታሪኩን ማቀርብላችሁ በእንግሊዘኛ ስለሆነ ይቅርታ ጠይቃለሁ። ዩቲዩብን ሰብስክራይብ ስለምታደርጉ አመሰግናለሁ። አዳነ ዘሩ ነኝ። The kingdom of Abyssinia was founded in the 13th century CE and transforming itself into the Ethiopian Empire via series of military conquests lasted until the 10th century CE. It was established by the king of the Solomonid Dynasty, who claiming descent from no less figure than the Bible's King Solomon, could rule in an unbroken line throughout the states of long history. A Christian kingdom which spread the faith via military conquest and the establishment of churches and monasteries. Its great trade came from the Muslim trading states of East Africa and Southern Arabia, and the migration of the Oromo people from the south. The combination of its rich Christian heritage, the cult of its empire, and the geographical obstacles present to invaders meant that the Ethiopian Empire would be one of only two African states never to be formally colonized by European power. Origins: Aksum. The Ethiopian islands, with their reliable annual monsoon rainfall and fertile soil, had been successfully inhabited since the Stone Age. Agriculture and trade with Egypt, Southern Arabia, and other African peoples ensured the rise of the powerful kingdom of Aksum, also known Aksum, which was found in the 1st century CE, flourishing from the 3rd to 6th century CE, and then surviving as a much smaller political entity into the 8th century CE. The kingdom of Aksum was the first sub-Saharan African state to officially adopt Christianity. Since 350 CE, Aksum also created its own script Ge'ez, which is still in use in Ethiopia today. Across its Christianity kingdom, churches were built, monasteries founded, and translations made of the Bible. The most important church was at Aksum, the Church of Maria Zion, which is, according to later Ethiopian medieval texts, houses the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark meant to contain the origin of stone tablet of the 10 commandments given by God to Moses, is supposed to be still there, but as nobody is ever allowed to see it. Confirmation of its existence is difficult to achieve. The most important monastery in the Aksum kingdom was at Devre Damo, founded by the 5th century CE Byzantine ascetic Saint Aragawi, one of the celebrated 9 saints who worked to spread Christianity in the Rhine by establishing monasteries. The success of these endeavors meant that Christianity would continue to be practiced in Ethiopia right into the 21st century CE. The kingdom of Aksum went into decline from the late 6th century CE, perhaps due to overuse of agricultural land. The inclusion of Western Bajan herders and the increased competition for the Red Sea trade networks from Arab Muslims. The earthlands of the Aksum state shifted southward while the city of Aksum fared better than its namesake kingdom and has never lost its religious significance. In the 8th century CE, the Aksumite cult of adults was destroyed and the kingdom lost control of regional trade to the Muslims. It was the end of the state, but not the culture. Kingdom of Zagwe. Bridging the gap between Aksum and the kingdom of Abyssinia was a third kingdom, that of Zagwe, which is capital at Roha, 300 kilometers south of the Aksum. Founded in 1137 CE by a commander of Lasta. In unclear circumstances, the new kingdom continued to promote Christianity in the region and still possessed many of the cultural and artistic tradition of Aksum. The kingdom expanded from its heartland in northern Ethiopia thanks to a large and well-equipped army, especially in the pagan west and south. One famous king, Lalibela, ordered rock-cut churches to be built, and such was their effect on the populace that the capital was renamed in his honor. Christianity, still nominally led by the Patriarch of Alexandria, continued as a thread linked the various political states of Ethiopian history. The country is dominated with over 1,500 churches carved out of rock. The design generally follows the traditional Roman Byzantine basilica from which are aisles, galerias, and demesne, but there are many variants such as the Church of St. George at Lalibela, 11th up to 12th century CE. With its distinctive cross shape, the large example in Beit Medanialam, also at Lalibela. Most of the church cannot be dated due to lack of inscription and suitable remains, but they provide convincing argument that Ethiopia did not suffer cultural dark age between Aksum, Zagwe, and the kingdom of Abyssinia. The Solomonic Dynasty. The medieval kingdom of Abyssinia was founded by the Solomonid Dynasty, say 127 up to 127 CE. Their first ruler was Yikuno Amlak, 2070 up to 2085 before Jesus Christ. A local leader at Amara. It is likely that the Solomonids saw the kings of Zagwe as usurpers and interruption to the dynasty that had ruled Aksum, and they gathered the support of anti-Zagwe factions which had presented continuous opposition through the 12th and 13th centuries. The Zagwe dynasty contributed to its own downfall by always having disputes over who had the right of success. Even the great Lalibela had been briefly deposed by his own nephew, Yekun and his successors. According to both oral and written medieval tradition, which were mostly complete in the 13th or 4th century, like the Kebra that possibly using older sources, claiming direct destination from the biblical King Solomon of Jerusalem and Makeda, the Queen of Saba, equated with the Ethiopian in this tradition, but more likely to be Southern Arabia, hence their dynastic name of Solomonid. The story goes that the Queen of Sheba visits King of Solomon in Jerusalem after hearing of his great wisdom. The royal couple enjoyed an amorous encounter, the fruit of which was a son called Menelik. On reaching adulthood, Menelik also went to Jerusalem, and thanks to one of his traveling companions, he came back to Aksum with quite pride, the Ark of the Covenant. The claim may have been dubious, and there is, in any case, no direct evidence of historical King Solomon ruling Israel in the 10th century BC. But it does not seem that the Ethiopian kings themselves believed their heritage, or at least publicly claimed to. King Zereg of 1434 to 1468, he was asked about his ancestor at his coronation and boldly said, "I am the son of David, the son of Solomon, the son of Menelik," quoting Cretan 14. The claim may have been fabricated and was certainly prepared in order to give legitimacy to the Solomonic line. Many Solomonic kings held their coronation at the Aksum because of the Ark of the Covenant connection there. It is also interesting to note that in Ethiopian literature on what constitutes good kingship, two things are held as vital descent from a person like Solomon, who had made holy covenant with God, and the possession of the scarred ark of the covenant. Ethiopian kings were fortunate to claim those, and by association the people of Ethiopia were able to also claim they were God's chosen people, a point reinforced by the Christian kingdom's isolation in East Africa, surrounding as it was by states which were predominantly Muslim, Jewish, or which practiced traditional African beliefs. For the Ethiopian people, they were the second Israel. Thus, not to say traditional African religion was wholly eradicated in Abyssinia. Even the king of performance ritual sacrifice of a buffalo and a lion when he was crowned. The Solomonids had their capital at Amara, near Ethiopian present-day capital Addis Ababa. Although he failed to control coastal trade, had some success. Land trade routes and those along the Bible Nile provide more profitable for the Ethiopians. Territory was also disputed between the Solomonid and Muslim traders of Red Sea, who established such small states as Harar, Dawaro, Bale, and Adal. At the same time, the Solomonids expanded their kingdom in many directions as possible to eventually carve out an empire which spanned from Shua in south to the land north of Lake Tana at the other end of the compass. The Ethiopian Empire. The Solomonid kings used several means to expand their territory: warfare, religion, and diplomacy, as here summarized by the historian P. Kalkin. The intense colonists still in the new territorial administration and further cement Solomon control. Land grounds were a work known as guild receptions that had the right to exchange purchases through from the farmer who worked the land. This combined strategy were particularly successful in conquering the Shua Mountains area. One of the most successful Solomonid rulers in terms of empire building was Amdezion, 1314 up to 1344.
The ancient city of Aksum in Ethiopia thrived as a capital of the first Ethiopian kingdom founded at the end of the 1st century. Aksum is also a Christian holy site. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church continues to follow early Christian teachings, practices, and traditions. These 20-meter-high stone monuments, standing in the center of the
who doubled the size of his territory, which now spread down from the Red Sea to the Rift Valley. Amdezion also had the clever idea of confusing all his male relatives except his sons. Within a monastery at Gishon, the king's successors followed the same strategy, and thus succession disputes or at least all-out civil wars were largely avoided until the mid-9th century CE. Another great king was Jacob, who found time not only to write several treatises on Christianity, but also to deal crushing defeats on the coastal Muslim state in the mid-15th century. Spreading Christianity through the Holy War was a major aim of the kingdom's campaigns. Fortunately for posterity, Amdezion ensured he always had with him on campaign a priest who wrote down choice episodes. This anonymous priest record the event he went in his work, The Glorious Victory of Fredra Amdezion. Here is an extract from it. Now, be not afraid in face of the rebels. Be not divided, for God is fighting for us. For long you have made yourself ready to fight for me. Now be ready to fight for Christ, as it said in the book of Canons. Slay the infidels and regenerates with the sword of iron, and draw the sword in behalf of the perfect faith. Great on then your sword, make ready your house, and be not fearful in spirit, but be violent, and put your trust in God. Quoted in verse 3. In the mid-15th century, CE, the influence of Coptic Egypt continued in Abyssinia, with Solomonid kings adapting Christian version of the old Roman law. The law of the kings Phatanexes, which Egyptian Copts had codified into a single volume of laws which applied to everything from church matter to criminal punishments. It would remain in effect in Ethiopia until the 20th century. In addition, there were other contacts with the wider Christianity world, such as an Ethiopian embassy to the Pope in Rome in the early 14th century. It will be continued for others. Late history. The Ethiopian Empire imperialism is the long-term only ensured the Muslim state of East Africa and Southern Arabia eventually organize themselves into a more collective and efficient opposition. At the same time,